Due to scheduling conflicts, Griffin wasn't able to make it to this session. He gave us full permission to play without him, so we're not cutting him out or anything. Okay, first up, some notes that I messed up last time. The sword that stabbed Gunnar was a rapier, not Arcitarius's short sword. That's the biggest one, but now to get into the episode proper. Last we left our heroes, they ended up in a sticky situation when a unknown assassin appeared in the room and killed Governor Richard, who they were in the middle of discussions with. The party managed to evade law enforcement and are planning their next steps at a restaurant that Wesley has agreed to join up in. Before we get into anything, Calypso, now if you want to do that roll to see if to remember that thing about that assassin that you recognized.
Right. What would that be?
History, since it's been 24 hours.
I'm good at history, so this should not be a problem. That is going to be a 21. 15 plus 6.
Okay. You definitely remember seeing a Yamask mask symbol on the over the heart of the assassin. Something you also noticed was a white spiral on the back of the assassin as they left. And with a 21, I'll give you that you remember vaguely that you read in a book in the ruined castle in the desert before not going back there, that the white spiral had something to do with the center of the region.
Boy, that is quite a lot to take. So, like, the white spiral, is that like a symbol on like the back of his clothing or whatever?
Yes, the Yamask mask was over his heart, and the white spiral was on his back.
Oh boy. Okay. That certainly is something.
But with that, we can get things started. You all wake up in the underground break room that Julius basically gave to you all to plan out your tour of the Castelia City. The room is pretty decent. There's a pool table with what look like optional coverings, so it can be turned into like a proper table. And each corner of the room has a bed in it, and each bed also has a privacy curtain. And there's a small window, just so you can get some natural light in here.
Okay. I assume the window looks out into like the alleyway or whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just a basic basement window.
Gotcha.
Do you guys have anything you want to discuss when it's just the governors, or am I free to move the story a bit?
I think Wesley is kind of preparing for the day. He's like getting out some of his knives, just preparing for the grisly job that he believes he has ahead of him due to the circumstances we find ourselves in.
Okay. Suddenly you hear at the door.
Come in.
Okay. Y'all made the papers, Julius says as he enters and just throws down a newspaper onto the pool table. The main headline reads, Striaton usurpers murder Governor Richard.
Oh, wow. They're calling us usurpers. Wow.
Will, what's the name of the newspaper?
It's just the Castelia Times. And There's a sketch of Governor Richard's body with the sword still in it.
Well, I did take the sword, so I guess they're going by eyewitness accounts, right?
It's not a photo. This is a sketch based on someone's memory.
Okay. This does not seem good.
Way to make y'all seem like the bad guys.
Which we're not, we promise.
Who's in charge?
That would be on page 2. I'll wait till y'all are done till we discuss your job prospects.
Cool. I read page 2. I don't even wait. I barely say anything.
I'd look over his shoulder.
Page 2 basically goes into like just kind of demifying you guys. Like
I imagine it's like gross caricatures of us, like a bit wacky evil, like we all evilish mustaches on.
that's further in the paper. This goes into page 2. Basically goes into Castelia's response to you guys. They mentioned that they have placed a bounty on your heads.
Oh, boo.
Each of you is 40,000 Poke and 10,000 for any confirmed Pokemon of yours.
Okay.
This is very not good. I think we should warn Soul.
I think my idea just went from bad to worse, but I'm still gonna do it.
I think we should reconvene and maybe go over our next strategy in a bit, Sarsateris. Could you perhaps, Calypso, where's Friend?
Yeah, where is Friend right now?
Friend is still on Arcetarius's bed. It hasn't really woken up since it clocked out earlier.
I do think we should try to warn Soul by sending back this paper with Friend. But if Friend is still it has their energy expended,
Let
I
'em
don't believe it
rest.
would be. Yes.
It also goes into who has been put in charge of Castelia in the meantime.
All right, who is it? Lay it on us. Lay it on us, Will.
Okay, there is a kind of big sketch of another person who looks like they have a black and white colored robe on, and they have a hand outstretch, but you can notice that in the sketch, it looks like they have the mark of Arceus burned in their hand.
I'm absolutely doing this idea. All of my doubt just went out the freaking window. I'm doing this.
Sorry, what?
The mark of Arceus, like that gate hook, that yellow ring.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But what the fuck?
Underneath it, it says Sister Dominius.
Oh, sweet. It's gonna be a fucking girl egg whack. Alright, let's do this.
And you also notice that they are that next to them is a Pokemon with what looks like a knight's helm on and 2 lances looking things for arms.
Could I potentially roll a history to see if I know anything about this? What's her name again? Sister what?
Sister Dominius.
Yeah, Dominius. Can I roll a history to see if I know anything?
Yeah, go ahead.
My dice really like me tonight. That is going to be 23.
Okay. You know that the Church of Arceus that Sister Dominius is a part of, one of their things is once a person gets high up in the leadership, they are branded with the mark of Arceus so that their hands become one of the 1,000 hands of Arceus.
Cool, but also ouch.
Okay, so that's not like a naturally occurring mark. I honestly thought that was like something naturally occurring, which had me like super sus.
Some people are naturally born with the mark of Arceus, but others have it burnt onto them.
Wait, you said some are?
somewhat unnatural.
Oh, that oh no.
I'm not worried about that.
And you can assume that since this person was put the power so quickly, they are pretty influential here.
Cool. Still gonna take their head off.
Arcturus, I would advise your open words of aggression. Is Julius still in the room with us?
He's just kind of leaning against a wall, just kind of smirking at you guys. Like, he looks amused by you saying you're gonna cut the head off.
I mean, we've already kind of let him know that we're gonna like try and overthrow and like take the city under our reign. So I mean, I don't think his comments are that offhanded.
And yeah, no, you shouldn't be afraid of what I've said. You should be afraid of what I haven't said.
It's just we don't know who to trust.
Well, after today, I don't think it'll matter, hopefully.
Y'all ain't gonna be able to do this in one day.
Yeah, no, I think we still gotta do some planning and stuff before we can even do anything.
Is your plan to just charge back into that damn manor? The place is surrounded by guards. They're expecting attacks from you again.
Not quite. I didn't say I was going to attack the manor.
And if you're hoping for a more public appearance, Dominius probably won't show her face for a few days.
I wasn't going to assassinate. That's the thing.
But you were gonna kill them still.
I was going to try, but it was going to be fair and square.
Oh, you were gonna just literally duel them to the death?
Oh yeah, I was going to conquerors challenge them one-on-one. All or nothing.
Oh.
She'd probably be like, no, and the guards would screw you.
No, an assassination doesn't do anybody good. I was going to try and make it as legitimate as possible. But yeah, they would have no reason to agree to my terms. That's fair. Damn. Yeah, I guess we are just going to have to kill them all.
There might be other ways out of this, who knows?
I have no idea what works. I have one other idea that's slightly possible, and I highly doubt it would even be remotely possible. Like, we would be banking on so much.
Maybe that'll be like your overall plan, but right now you don't really have one aside from Arcarius's Leroy Jenkins in it.
Man, I was gonna try. I still kind of want to try.
You could, but that would basically just remove you from play until someone busts you out of jail or saves your life, depending what I do.
That is a risk I would be willing to take. I had a whole thing planned out. I really did. Damn.
That is a risk Calypso would not allow Arcturus to take.
That's a risk I need your forgiveness, not your permission. Neither one of you are physically capable of stopping me if I walk through that door.
I believe I could poison you enough to where you would stop moving. But
yeah, congrats. The person who's physically the strongest is now dead weight because you didn't want to listen to him. That's not much smarter than what I'm planning.
But to get back to things, Julius goes, right now, you gotta make things equal for me, keeping y'all hidden. So, what skills y'all got, aside from our resident doctor here, he says, pointing a thumb over at Wesley.
Well, what kind of things do you need?
You, he says, pointing at Arcitarius, you look you'd be good in a scrap, right?
I mean, I'm basically ready to kill somebody if it gets me where I want, so you tell me.
Cool. That's good. Would any of y'all happen to have a mask?
Do I even want to know why?
No.
Why is a mask necessary?
Because if I'm putting you up in front of our patrons, it might be good for them not to be recognized on sight. Like, yes, some of our patrons are more legally dubious, as y'all would say, but can't take the chance that they ain't gonna narc.
Yeah, that's probably not a good idea for me to do a fight for entertainment. I might actually kill somebody. I might actually kill somebody.
Wesley pipes up and is like, I do have my working gear, and he holds up the leather bandana that he usually keeps around his neck.
Yeah, something tells me though that swordsman over here wouldn't appreciate something so non-flashy.
Frankly, it's not even that. I just don't think it would disguise me at all.
You could maybe cut your hair, then you just basically then slap a mask on you, make it into like, who's this new fighter? Assuming you do well and all, but I got faith in you.
He's trying to make it very clear that if he has any reason to believe that they might be getting set up, that he has no problem a ratting them out, or b killing them on principle. That's basically what he's trying to communicate here. That's cool that you're protecting us. If I have any reason to believe you're going to turn us over, I'm going to kill you where you stand.
I'm going to say Julius is being pretty open in his talk, and he's like, I'm willing to do this, but yeah, and I do expect things in the future, but right now I need to be able to keep you guys worth it, pretty much, because he has definitely seen your bounties, and it's not like a malicious thing. It's just like numbers.
There's economic upside there. Wouldn't fault anybody. It'd be a shame if someone else unaffiliated with us randomly came into enough money to pay off all our bounties. Where would they get that money from? No idea where we got a couple 100,000 laying around, you guys?
Wesley pipes up and is like, I am sure that is not how bounties work, and it'd be foolish to try to pay them off.
I've seen it happen before, but yeah, probably not for numbers like that. Yeah, if it's over a certain amount, you're probably not paying that thing off.
Plus, you have to consider that Castelia is probably richer than Striaton.
Oh, by a silver mile. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I guess the only real solution here is, how can we prove it wasn't us? It kind of feels like stepping outside in general is foolish if we don't have a means to prove that we didn't do it.
Or you get people who are sympathetic to you guys.
That's fair, but I feel like everything becomes easier if we can prove that it wasn't us. Like, whether it's taking over the city, rallying to a cause, or just straight up avoiding jail, I think everything in our life becomes easier once we prove we didn't do it. After that, we may be free to go, and then us, conquering this place is an option. I looked at it as a resort just to clear our names. That's why I was willing to go through with it.
I thought you guys were going full into the Conquerors thing, and
I didn't say I wasn't.
Yeah, and like to do that, you need to get allies. Like,
right, and that's sort of where I'm at, and I think that's an understandable plan of action here, because frankly, everything's gonna get easier. Everything gets easier if we prove we didn't do it.
Yeah, I basically have like NPCs listed, and they'll help you out, and they'll provide certain perks. Like Julius's perk is that while he is money oriented, he is basically having him on your side is gonna make it so that the rich people in town stay neutral with you unless provoked.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so I have a slightly different idea that's still not great, still less than ideal, but might be our best shot, at least in terms of obtaining evidence of our innocence, at the very least.
That's for off hours talk, though. We still gotta work things out now. So, what do you think to cage fighting?
I can do it. All you gotta do is tell me who I can and can't kill. You draw the line, I'll follow it.
We would prefer if our human fighters weren't in dispatched, but accidents happen in the ring. I understand that. And if things look bad, your doctor can patch them up, hopefully.
I could, but I I can't reattach limbs very well. I'm not that good of a surgeon, but
Yeah, that shouldn't be an issue. It's bare knuckle only.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, no Pokemon, no weapons. We're an entertainment business. Not much entertainment if we can't find good fighters, if they're too scared to show their face. He then turns to Calypso and says, you look like you could go unnoticed if you want to. Just get a cloak and a mask, and how would you feel about advertising, bringing folks in?
I could certainly try.
Your friend can give you a rundown on how I got him in here, in the door.
Yeah.
Just know that discretion is the name of the game.
Okay. Like knowing who to bring in and who not to.
That and make sure that you don't bring anyone who would have a moral failing with what we're doing here.
Right.
I'll get a mask down here in a few, an hour or so, and you, my friend, and he puts an arm around Wesley. I'll show you to your office.
yeah, just let me. And Wesley grabs all his bag and lets himself be let off by
I'm gonna be the only one who's actively getting hurt, and I might not have the nastiest job. That's kind of funny.
So Julius just basically leads you to down the hallway and into a surprisingly clean-looking doctor's office, if a bit dusty.
Has this place not been used? I thought I would be working more so in a kitchen of sorts.
No.
This kind of looks like my old lab.
That's the thing. The kitchens are completely separate. Your job is to basically patch up the winner after a Pokemon fight and any humans that come by. Also, y'all would need to refill the apparatus around them Pokemon's noses so that they go down easy and don't try to break out after a fight.
I see.
We have an assistant who will help you with that. And the door opens again, and a Gotharita walks in.
Wesley kind of gives it a not like a look at distaste, but he usually prefers to pick out his own partner like Weibel. He doesn't know how he'll work with an unknown Pokemon, so he's like, oh, okay, Julius. I was actually wondering if I could use my partner here also, and Wesley will pick up Weibel and kind of show him off to Julius.
Julius looks at Wyvil and says, no offense, but I don't think that bag of goo has the same psychic powers that Ruby does.
Weibel is offended and bubbles. He's like, blah, 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 as Wesley sets him down. It's like, I assure you that he is quite adept with his psychic abilities, but it never hurts to have more hands in the room. When do I start?
Yeah, the first matches of the day will be done pretty soon. Some assistants will bring in the winner.
All right, then I guess I should start preparing as Wesley basically sets up some vials and basically some bandages, some gauze.
Let us know if you want any particular parts. We'll send you a list of what we got in stock.
Wesley nods, and then I'll pipe up. Do you perhaps have oran berries? I seem to have run out sometime in my venture, and I do think I will need them for my job here.
We can get you some. Might take a bit, though.
And Wesley continues working.
Okay. Calypso and Arcetarius. What kind of mask would you guys like for your jobs?
I have an idea that I think would actually fits. I think it would actually fit Calypso's vibe overall really well. What about like a Meowscarada inspired mask?
I was thinking like if you wanted like a specific Pokemon as a mask.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like Meowscarada is a specific Pokemon.
yeah, that's fair. Just Meowscarada are based off of like actual masks that exist.
That's fair.
Black, I assume.
Yeah. With like the green splotches that are like kind of in the middle, like kind of like the mask that Meowscarada actually has.
Sure thing. What about you, Arcetarius?
As crazy as it sounds, let me think. Ooh. That is a tough decision. Is there any mask he could put on that would disguise him at all? Oh, I know. You know what you can give him? Give him a witch doctor mask. Just give him one of those fucking pointy ones.
What is that Pokemon Sprixie?
Aromatisse and Spritzu.
Yeah, I can get you one of those. Might be a bit pig-toed to match Sprixie. Roughly 45 minutes later, two masks are dropped off your door. One being Black Masquerada mask. That one comes with a kind of black and green cloak to match the aesthetics, and
Sweet.
and a light pink Sprixie styled mask. They don't fit perfectly because it would be creepy if they had your exact measurements.
Right, that would be kind of weird if they fit. Like
Yeah,
exactly.
that's fair.
So, and off you guys go to do your jobs. The way this is going to go is that I'm gonna have each of you roll a stat kind of related to what you're doing. Wesley's would be medicine. Yours, Calypso, would probably be perception or insight. And Arcetarius's would be athletics. And once the day is over, you guys can plan your coup. Who wants to go first?
I can roll first. Griffin's not here, so it should be a good roll.
Roll me a medicine check.
11.
Okay. The first fight ends up pretty quickly, and they bring in a semi-deflated Drifloon.
Oh no.
And you notice the metal ring around the X on its face, and Ruby, your assistant, just kind of psychically opens it up and gestures for you to grab a vial of sleeping powder to put in there to refill it.
Wesley will go ahead with that refill. It's sort of like a muzzle, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what I'm imagining it as.
Yeah, pretty
Refills
much.
the muzzle with the sleep powder, and gives the. Did I receive some of the orange berries?
Yeah, you received a crate full of 10 of them.
Okay. Wesley probably would have prepared them to some sort of like paste or something that the Pokemon can eat while injured, and just like tends to its wounds. And through this while he's kind of looking at like muttering to us like, why would they even have like, because it's a Drifloon, he wonders like, what do they even eat off a Drifloon if it falls? He's never heard of people being able to even stomach these sort of Pokemon because they really have no mass to them. They are just air platters of air.
Since you rolled an 11, you don't get any materials from the Drifloom.
Okay.
None of the parts. Like, you just don't have time to do that. Once you're done, you basically just ring a bell, and those same two guys just come in and bring the Drifloom away.
Wesley prepares for the next patient.
Yeah, that's basically just your role for the day. Like, stuff like that happens. Pokemon come in, you patch them up okay. You don't really have time to gather materials.
Okay. And I'll be trying to make kind of like in between some potions made from the orange berries. Like while I'm also using them to heal the Pokemon that come in, I want to see if I can, like, basically steal a bit from this Oranberry supplies for personal use and make some healing potions, perhaps.
Okay, roll me a d10, and the number you roll is how many you make, and then cut that in half.
That's a 1.
I'm going to say you can re-roll again because that's a bad roll.
A 2.
You get 1 potion for yourself. Calypso, Arsterius, who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay, roll me athletics.
That is a 20.
Okay, since you rolled a 20, do you want to describe how your first fight goes? You're put in the ring against this kind of big, muscly guy, but how do you win, basically, since it's your fight? You can describe it.
This is caged, right?
Yeah, it's caged, and this is the big cage right above the biggest hibachi grill. But no one gets dropped out of the cage if they lose, like the Pokemon do.
Okay. I was just gonna say, verbatim, this is the plan. Arceteris just feeds this guy some cage to eat. It's very high in iron, he hears. Um, he just fucking smushes this. He just kicks this guy's face and he smushes it in. And he's like, "Yeah, you want some more of that cage?" Like, there's so much anger and frustration pent out, and this poor guy just gets the brunt of it. Like, this guy's face is like hardly recognizable when he's done.
I should mention, do you kill the guy?
I think the question is Arceteris purposely holding back?
I think the first time around probably not. He's just blowing off some steam. Does he kill this one? I don't think he kills this guy, but like he's looking like he got hit by a train. Like his face is like visually disfigured, like broken nose, broken jaw, like welled up eyes. Like his face looks like he got stepped on.
And not in the fun way.
No, not in the fun hoo make me feel good way. The ouchie wouchie, there goes my hospital bill, retire from MMA way.
Okay. Yeah, that happens, and that basically is how the rest of your day goes. You just keep dropping guys, and you don't take a lot of damage in return.
Sweet. Okay. This is a good way to blow off some steam. I'm feeling all right now.
If you roll badly, you can get like seriously injured, like broken bones.
Oh, I know. I'm surprised I rolled an 18.
Yeah. Calypso, what do you want to do? And since you're outside, I'll let you do something else aside from your job. You're not 24/7 looking for people if you want.
Right.
It might give you a negative modifier for your job role, though.
Right. What time of day is it at this point?
It's like 10, 11 in the morning.
Okay. I think before trying to nab anyone, so to say, not like literally, but like before trying to find some customers or whatever, I think Calypso is probably going to see if she can do like a little bit of like information gathering. I mean, obviously she has what's in the newspaper, but I want to see if maybe she can get some like word off the street from like, hiding in the corner or whatever.
Okay. Roll me a stealth to see how well you can eavesdrop on conversations.
That's going to be a 17. 14 plus 3.
Okay. What part of town, like rich, poor, where are you eavesdropping?
Probably a little bit more in the middle. Like, not necessarily low class, but not necessarily high class either.
Okay. So you're, like, in, like, the middle sides of the city. The middle of the city is around where the higher district is, where the governor's manor is. You can tell that people are just kind of in shock that this happened. Like they never expected something like this to happen in Castelia, because in their mind they always associated random political violence with something that happens in Opelucid, and thought it would never happen here.
Right, okay. Is there like any like word or murmur on the street of like anything that this new interim head is like trying to do in regards to trying to find us or anything like that?
Nothing yet. It sounds more like they're just trying to villainize you guys. Like these power hungry usurpers have made a move on Castelia, and it doesn't seem like they've implemented anything else yet. Right now, it seems priority one is hunting you guys down.
Gotcha. I mean, it is still only day one after all this happened. But I mean, so like other than like, what there was in the paper, there wasn't really much note that Calypso could really get from sneaking around.
Not here, anyway.
Okay.
Now roll me something to do your job. I'm going to say perception or insight, and you take a -2 based on your spying.
I rolled a 12.
You manage to find someone who doesn't look like they have a ton of money, but doesn't look like they would narc on your business. So, not a huge profit day, and that's kind of how the day goes.
Okay.
You bring in some people, they have a meal, they don't really place bets. And you guys are off shift. The three of you kind of get off around the same time and wind up in your break room. What do you guys want to do?
Wesley's like covered in blood and like a bit of gore, and he just kind of like dusts himself off.
Oh boy.
Nice.
The blood's all different kind of colors from different kinds of Pokemon.
I see they kept you busy.
Yes, there was seemed to be a lot more fights scheduled than I thought. I think they might need more medical supplies.
Oh, if they faced me, they're definitely gonna need more medical supplies. That first guy I sent packing.
Did I see any of Arceterius's
Yeah, you saw the
victims during
human
my?
guys. They would be brought in after their fight.
I'm glad I didn't see you down there in the office, Arceterius. But could you perhaps leave them in a bit better shape? I can only do so much. It.
Wes?
Julius wants the fighters
Wes?
to still be presentable afterwards. I think I tried my
Wes?
best, but
Wes?
yes, Arceterius.
No.
It would make my job easier, Arceterius.
This is true.
And I think Julius would appreciate it if the talent wasn't out for more than a couple of days.
Uh, uh, eh. Maybe. I'll think about it.
Calypso, did you hear anything out on the streets while you were inviting new guests? I think that's the phrase we should use.
Honestly, nothing more than what we pretty much already knew. I tried to snoop around a little bit and see if there was anything I could pick up on. Really, there was nothing more than what we already know from the paper, honestly. I think it's still a little bit too early to really, have much news going on, so to say, because it literally is only just the day after all this happened.
Will, how long was our shift? Like, are we working hard? Like, all of us working for a long time?
It's roughly 6 to 8 hours. It's basically a full-time job.
Okay. I believe Wesley is pretty tired. He hadn't did like a big lab work in a while like that, so I think he's gonna head off to bed once like we're done conversing.
Calypso and Arcetarius, do you want to do anything to try and further your coup, or are you also gonna pack it in for the day?
What could I do? What could I do? What could I do? There's a lot of there's a couple things we could do, but I'll pack it in for now.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot. There is a lot that we can do. I don't know.
Okay, you guys go to sleep for the day, and the next morning you guys wake up. Nothing really changes. There are some plates with some Pokemon on them for you guys to eat. Like, you guys have been fed yesterday too. I just didn't mention it. This is just like some breakfast.
Okay. I assume our Pokemon are being taken care of as well, right?
Your Pokemon are mostly just relegated to the break room unless you specifically bring them with you. Like, Arcetarius doesn't have any Pokemon who can go into the cage fight with them. Calypso or Wesley, you guys can choose to bring any of your Pokemon with you, but if not, they kind of just stay in the break room.
Yeah, Calypso probably doesn't take any with her.
Wesley probably takes his Pokemon with him as like he isn't going outside where they can be spotted.
If anything, not that she would, I would argue that Calypso might take someone else's Pokemon, just to kind of throw them off a little bit, run around with a Pokemon that's not hers. Not that she would, but if she did.
Also, like, I assume it is like better safe than sorry to have a Pokemon partner with you. I assume most people generally have a Pokemon with them.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? You make a good point, Wes. Will, where are the red tops?
Griffin has them in his bag. You can just kind of go in them and just them.
As opposed as I am to, the whole idea of the red tops, Wes does bring up a very good point, and we can't exactly be seen with our Pokemon right now because, they know what Pokemon we have for the most part, but having protection is a good thing.
I just had a better idea.
What's your idea?
So the red tops capture, right?
Yes.
And they're like regular Pokeballs, right?
As far as we know, yeah.
Right, there's nothing different, right? Ideally, all a Pokemon has to do is just consent to being captured, and they're stuck in there, right?
Not even that. Like the salesman who was pitching the apricorns originally, like he held the old ball shut, so the Pokemon couldn't really escape.
Boy, it'd be really convenient if a bunch of Pokemon that the government body has here conveniently disappeared, wouldn't it?
We don't. I don't think we. Yeah, we only have 24. 23 because because Griffin has already used one.
It'd be real convenient if a bunch of heavy hitters conveniently went missing, wouldn't it?
You have to find where those heavy hitters are first.
Oh, I know. Oh, I'm well aware, but it'd be real inconvenient if suddenly you didn't have that.
Yeah, I will mention they do still have their firearms.
I know. I know realistically where this presents us, but it does provide them, it would, in theory, provide us one massive advantage. You can have your arms and all what that. If you don't have any Pokemon to back it up, you're not bringing me in as easily, and I don't think you're bringing us in easily. There's only so much a shiv or a musket or a what have you will do so much. I don't think we're really worried about that. We're really more so worried about hey, there could be like a Hydreigon here, and we just don't know it yet. Not that I'm saying there is, but I think whatever they have that arms the humans, I think pales in comparison to whatever Pokemon they might have to go looking for us. Just saying.
Arcetarius, I highly doubt they've trained a Hydreigon. That is that's almost an impossibility, I think.
Wes, the person overseeing the biggest the city in the region, is a sister of the
Hands of Arceus. Do you really think it's out of the realm of possibility? Do you think they just let anybody just sit in charge of this place? I highly, highly, highly doubt it. Maybe not a Hydreigon literally, but I'd wager it's something close to as strong.
I guess you make a fair point.
No, it's probably not something in a straight up fight we stand any chance against, which is why it behooves us to take that piece off the table as well as any other pieces that may be a problem. I'm just saying. Not harming anybody. No one has to get hurt. No one has to get killed. No one even has to get hurt. You just sneak in, you pop the thing, you keep the thing shut, and then you get the hell out of Dodge. Really, the hardest part is not getting caught.
While the idea makes sense, Arceteris, I don't know if these red tops are able to contain. I don't know how much trust I put in these red tops that Griffin got.
That's why we start small.
So what? Go out into the desert at night and try catching some as a test?
No, just see what the guards, see what like some of the higher up guards have just in terms of Pokemon reinforcements. See what they have.
Yes, we can see what we have. If we try your theory of using a red top against them, we don't have enough data to know if that will even work, and if that it just won't backfire on it.
We won't know if we won't try.
Well, we can run like tests and hypotheses. Calypso, you can lead us out into the desert at night, right? It should be safe then. People wouldn't be the desert shouldn't be too harmful to us if we go and try to find some wild sandile of the sorts.
So you'd rather try sneaking out and then back into a city looking for us, and probably going to execute us if they find us, as opposed to sneaking around when we're already here?
Well, from what I understand, the entrance to the desert really isn't regulated as much as the ports. As Calypso, correct me if I'm wrong, but there aren't many travelers that come often through the desert.
I would assume so.
It feels like a lot to be banking on. If I was going to bank on it, I'd rather bank on our individual abilities as opposed to the idea that an entrance may or may not be as guarded as we want it to be.
Well, it doesn't have to be the desert. Just any wild Pokemon will do. I have a suspicion that these red tops are only working on Pokemon we have closely befriended already. Not I don't know what they would do if we were to say force one into a red
Then
top.
why don't we try it on the Pokemon that are held here?
That's an idea.
I am quite alone during my time in the office, and is Julius in the room with us? Is Julius in the room with us?
No, Julius doesn't Julius doesn't oversee you guys personally. He's kind of trusting you to do your jobs, but like.
Okay, cool. Okay, that's cool.
I can perhaps try on one of the mons that come visit me in the office, and I could always tell Julius that they died of complications.
I don't know how long he could buy that, but doing it once, maybe twice, isn't the worst idea.
Well, yes, I would have to pick out a mon that was severely injured, but that could be a test for our hypothesis, taking a mon that doesn't fully trust someone and trying to put them in a red top.
I mean, you also had the Gothita who could rat on you.
Oh, that's why you put that in the ball. No better place to start.
They are quite smart, and as Calypso pointed out, they could rat on us. But I could
Then what we do is we have the fallback of we're testing the validity of these objects, which is in fact what we're doing. I think someone like Julius. I don't think someone like Julius is going to fault us for making sure we weren't sold false goods.
Well, I think Julius would want these. They would be much more affordable than keeping the sleep powder muzzles that he seems to be using now. Being able to return a monster to a portable capsule seems very beneficial for this sort of business.
Then you know what? Worst comes to worst and he finds out, we just give him the capsule that contains the Pokemon. But ideally, if it works, we don't say a fucking word.
I will see if I can handle Ruby the Gothita and perhaps distract her for a little bit. And I kind of look down at Wyvil. Wyvil, I have a plan. Wyvil has a plan.
Before we do that, actually, I am still gonna go ahead with my idea.
Yeah, which Pokemon are you trying to use a red top on, Calypso?
Both of them. I'll start with quicksand, though.
Roll me Poke Handling. I've got some modifiers for this. I can't believe that I'm doing this. The entire reason I created this system is so that I wouldn't have to do Pokeball formulas, but here we are.
That is going to be a 16.
Quicksand is grabbed by the hand of light and goes into the ball. The ball shakes once, the ball shakes twice, 3 times, and it is a capture successful.
Okay. And for now, she's gonna let him back out, at least for now.
Quicksand looks unsettled by this situation, but doesn't appear in any distress.
She probably would have explained it to him before just, chucking the ball at him.
Yeah, that's fair, but it's still a disorienting experience.
Congratulations, you've now been reassigned as portable.
And then she's gonna go ahead and do the same thing with Dandelion. Another poke handling.
Yes, please.
Oh, that's gonna be a dirty 20 that time.
Oh, that thing, poof. Poof is an understatement.
The light hand grabs Dandelion. The ball shakes once. The ball shakes twice. The ball shakes 3 times, and capture successful.
Yay!
Who wants to give me their work rolls?
I will do that first. I will just get mine out of the way.
It's also important because if you do fail, then my plan changes.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's probably best to just see where this goes from here. So, is it still athletics?
Yep, unless you want to try something new. You can make a case for a stat, but you have to make a case for it if it's not athletics.
Given the setting that we're in, is survival acceptable? I feel like that sort of speaks for itself.
I'm going to say no, because the fights aren't intended to be fights to the death. And survival has to deal with more nature stuff anyway.
Okay, so, but Arceteris knows that these aren't fights to the death, right? That this is clearly staged?
Well, they're not staged, they are actual fights, but once a person goes down, you're not expected to kill them.
Right, that's the point, is he knows that there's a very clear, like, hey, you're not actually fighting for your life here, you're just fighting until the other person can't.
Yeah, and like Julia said, sometimes accidents will happen where you accidentally punch a guy too hard and he goes down and doesn't get up. But like, he didn't take it as like, oh no, you should try to kill people. He's just like, accidents happen and I'm not going to hold it against you if too many don't happen.
Okay, in that case, knowing the situation, knowing the circumstances, could I justify insight?
I would allow that because you're kind of reading your opponent's moves.
In that case, I will go with insight. It's still a fucking 20. 16 plus 4.
It's basically a repeat of yesterday. You just drop your opponents. Do you try to make it look good, or do you just like boom, down, boom, down?
Given this role, he probably would have gotten a bit of an idea for what the audience wants to see, so it's probably somewhere in the middle. Like, he goes, ooh, they reacted well to, seeing that. Like, okay, does this audience like visuals, or do they just like sound effects, right? Do they want to see me spill the Kool-Aid, or do they want to hear people's bones go bonk?
It's a mixture of both.
It's a mixture of both, so I'd probably say... No, I'll say there's one where he goes for a where he goes for a chop to the head, like a neck chop, and it just fucking ragdolls them to the ground.
Sagittarius uses a karate chop.
Basically, like, it doesn't cause any, doesn't break any, doesn't really break any bones, doesn't spill any blood, but it gives you the audience of, ooh, I felt that.
So you again managed to do a good fight without without getting injured yourself. Are you quite as brutal as you were yesterday? Because Wesley did ask you to maybe not mess him up so bad.
Probably not. Yesterday was more rage and just frustration. Today, it's a little bit better. There's still a little bit of attention boiling over, but it's not so bad that he can't go for finesse over just pure destruction.
Okay, that's fair. Wesley, Calypso, which of you wants to go next?
I'll go next. No, I actually got to go this time. And 22, no 21. Can I angle this to look for a very injured Pokemon so I pause with the deniability if this thing disappears into the red top?
Do you want this to? Since you rolled a 20, I'm gonna and you could pick roughly from injured Pokemon. Do you want a Pokemon to keep on your team or just to try out?
Preferably to keep on the team, but you can pick that if you want to. Yeah.
Okay. You notice that there's this really beat up yellowish creature. It has frills on it and a purple triangle on its forehead. It looks like its frills have been ripped and that it's very damaged. It could be fine with some good medicine checks, but I think people would buy it if this one disappeared.
So Wesley probably would have made a plan with Wyvil in order to distract Gothita.
Yeah, I'd say roll me a performance check.
The plan is basically for Wyvil to be a little goofy, and as he's running over to me, he slips and spills all over Gothita, and she has to leave and go clean up somewhere.
Yeah. Roll me performance on Wyvil to see how well he sells it.
Oh God, that's
It's
either
either really good or really
or
bad.
really really bad.
That one.
Oh, he rolled a
Oh,
net
no.
one.
Uh-huh. That's what I thought. Wyvil does run over to you, but he's carrying a vial of sleeping powder. And he does trip, but instead of hitting Gothetta, it hits you in the face.
Oh boy.
Do I get a con save?
Yes, at disadvantage because you aren't expecting Wyvil to mess up this bad.
Oh God, I got a 2.
Oh God. Oh fucking hell.
You fall asleep, and you had pulled out the red top at this point, and it rolls across the floor.
Yeah, I probably the exact order of evidence is I looked around for Gothita, gave Wyvil the single, and pulled out the red top, and then. Can I say Wyvil is probably smart enough to know that the plan is not for this thing to be seen? So after he messes up,
Is Wyvil that smart?
I would say
The way I've seen it is Wyvil.
I would say he does.
Yeah, the way I see it is Wyvil is kind of just a silly guy who doesn't get most things that are happening.
I would say Wesley kind of talked about how the red top was important and that Gothita couldn't see it, but he doesn't understand exactly what it is. So he's gonna hop on top of it, full body slam the thing as it's mine. Wesley liked this thing. I like this thing. We're gonna keep it safe. So he leaps off the counter straight onto the red top.
Okay, roll me a poker handling check, I guess.
A 3.
Oh no. The hand tries to grab Wyvil, but Wyvil freaks out and dodges it. And Ruby just kind of looks at this scene and then just, Wyvil's POV, just walks out of the room.
No, Wyvil body slammed this thing, so I don't know how I rolled a 3. I don't know how he would have dodged the hand coming out of here.
He was surprised by the hand coming up and jumped off the ball.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't expecting it to do anything.
Wyvil will try to wake up Wesley.
Do you know how?
Usually, Wyvil usually slaps Wesley awake if Wesley ever falls asleep. But this was a natural 1 saving throw against, a natural 2. So I bet Wesley's conked out for a while. Can I just try for basically Wyvil uses pound? I don't know the move pound, but just basically punches him in the face.
You can try.
Okay, Wyvil, let's see this roll. I rolled a 4.
I want to be mean. You failed a lot.
You can be as mean as you want. This is a comedy of errors.
Didn't he roll a 2, a 3, and a 4 in that order?
And 1, 2, 3, 4.
A 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 in that order? I'm surprised you haven't died via spontaneous combustion.
I can roll for that.
If you do that, roll a D100 for spontaneous combustion.
Okay. That's only a 3.
Yeah, no. You don't die. Literally, a natural 1 on a D100 is what causes spontaneous combustion. But unfortunately, Wyvil, in his eagerness to wake you up, actually shatters one of your goggle lenses.
Oh God, no. Oh, Arceus, no.
It wasn't on your eye, so you don't have glass in your eye, but it is broken.
Wyvil raises his arm and it's there's glass shards floating in his goo now. He's like, blah blah blah.
And Wyvil just kind of sits by you and goes to sleep.
Very Wyvil move.
I was going to say, whatever Pokemon was trotted in to be turned into whatever has probably had no idea what's going on.
Yeah, that thing's still just kind of looking around and being like, am I going to get healing? Please?
Wyvil's probably intuitive enough because he does work as Wyvil's assistant. He does put an oranberry on the desk before going to sleep.
Okay.
And he's like, here, bud, and then goes to sleep on top of Wesley. Okay, I think Calypso can go unless Wesley suffers more.
I mean, I was going to have consequences, but we can put that off.
Yeah, do some consequences then. Yeah, let Calypso do her thing, and then we can have the consequences of my dice rolls.
Okay, Calypso, do you want to do anything else since you're out and about in the city? Or do you want to just focus on your job? You don't know anything about Wesley's situation.
I think today, since things are still, developing and not a lot of time has passed, she's gonna stick to finding people this time.
Okay, roll me perception or insight or whatever else you want to do.
I think perception would probably work the best. That's gonna be a 15.
You managed to lead some wealthier people to the place, and they spend some money.
Woohoo! Money.
So, back to Wesley. Since you chose not to invoke anything special, Calypso. Wesley, you come to, and there's a familiar pair of cowboy-looking boots standing in front of you.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Morning.
Hey, Julius.
Morning. Didn't think you'd be the type to take a nap on the job. And you notice that he's tossing something up and down.
As my eyes refocus, I'm like, is it the red top?
It's the red top.
Interesting
device
sorry, sir.
this thing brought. Ruby brought it to me earlier after you conked out. And tested it on her, and it worked fine. Do you got more of these?
Wesley will groggily look up and be like, no, sir.
Roll deception.
I don't think so. I am groggy. Does that affect anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a -2 because you just woke up and you're like, do I need to, your brain is confused, Do I need to lie to him? Before, and you haven't had that moment of, oh fuck, yet.
So I rolled, and my dice was almost landed on a 5. I was about to die, but I got a natural 13, which goes down to 10.
He looks like he doesn't believe it, and he says, now, I'm not the type of man who would like to accuse anyone else of lying. I'm just gonna say, if you happen to come across more of these things, I want you to figure out how they work. Think of it as a job switch. I want these things. They are mighty helpful, especially in a business such as this.
Sir, I'm sorry to inform you, but I don't know how they work.
You're a smart guy. You'll figure it out.
I'm a doctor, sir, not really a engineer or a mechanist.
Skills can be learned, can't they? You're the best we got at figuring this out.
Yes, they can, sir. Is the flittle still on the desk?
No.
Or did it get... Okay, it got patched up. It did not die. Okay.
Didn't die. It's back in a cage, waiting for its next fight.
Okay. If you... will I be doing this job of figuring out these... I've referred to them as red tops.
That's a good name. Yeah, consider it a job switch. Help out in here when you can, but just supply this place with potions. But your primary thing for me is figuring out how to replicate these.
Wesley kind of mutters to himself, and then comes to a conclusion. Does the quality and quickness of my ability to understand how these red tops work, will that affect if me and my compatriots are allowed to stay here?
I don't know. I'm not going to put a firm time limit on it. Would prefer if it doesn't take 5 years to figure out. But so long as your pals keep doing an adequate job, things shouldn't become unnecessary. And he then smirks at you and leans in close. And could Calypso and Arcetarius could deafen for a moment? He then leans in close and says, just do a good job and I won't have to tell your husband where you are. He's very angry with you, you know? He actually challenged their leader. What was the term you people used for it? Kahuna? He actually challenged one of them and won.
How do you know?
Oh,
where?
That's for me to know, and for you to find out someday, maybe. Pats you on the shoulder and smiles and says, have a nice day.
Wesley will hurriedly pack up his supplies and head back to the barracks as he has stuff to talk about with the group.
Okay.
Oh boy.
You guys have 20 red tops remaining. Okay. You guys are off shift. You had some food. What do you want to do?
Oh, Wesley will Wesley seems uncharacteristically angry whenever he walks into the barracks.
Ooh.
He sits down with a big hump and starts gathering stuff in his bags, as it seems like he's starting to passively tinker with his hands as he goes through his stuff. And he's like, I lost it. It did not go good. While here, the plan was to put the Castelia to sleep. I believe he slipped on a solution that I left out and spilled, and he put me to sleep. And so, Julius, he knows about the red tops, and he's changed my position from head doctor to head mechanist, and he wants me to start producing these within a reasonable time frame. And I do not believe that. I do not believe I will be able to figure out how these red tops work. And I worry for the future of the safety we have at this establishment And as Wesley kind of whispers it, I think I need to break into his office and search for something. He might have information that is pertinent to me.
What are you looking for?
I don't necessarily know what, but I think I might be able to find it in his office.
Okay, better
But
question.
bear with me.
Wes, what is it you think he has?
Information that I wish to have, and I think I could find it in his office. It might be letters, recipes, even just others such correspondence. You don't have to, as Wes starts kind of started slowing down as his hands speed up. If I get caught, it might put us all in danger, and I do not blame you for distancing yourselves from me in that case. But I believe there might be something of value in his office that I want. And as you see, Wes is fashioning what seems to be he's brought out that gunpowder and he's fashioning it into what you can only tell to be some sort of makeshift explosive.
What is it you think he has or knows?
Information that, as I said before, I really want, but I don't feel comfortable disclosing at the moment. But if I could get it and perhaps keep it, it would definitely help in our future endeavors, I believe.
Wes, if you try this and you fail and you jeopardize Calypso and I, you know I'm going to have to kill everybody who works here, right?
Or you could run. I don't blame you for either.
Run where, Wes? Run where? Where exactly? I don't think you understand just how much of a risk you're putting two people who have no intention of doing this on. If what you're gonna do has potentially this severe of a consequence for us and we did nothing, yeah, I'm gonna want to know what it is you're looking for.
Again, these are just my, how should I put it, impulses, and the sleep powder may still be affecting my cognitive functions.
Wes,
Yes, Arsateris?
This had better be some really important information, and you've actually been a better friend to me than I've openly admitted up until this point. If you want me to just go along with this, I'm going to need at least some idea as to what it is you think he knows, especially if it pertains to you. Listen, there's a world where we're all dead in a week, given our circumstances. So whatever it is you think you need to keep from me, none of us might live long enough for you to regret it. I'm just saying.
He seems to have some information on my estranged husband and where I might find him, or where he might be operating from, and due to circumstances I would rather not get into, I would like to avoid where he might be working from. And
Wait, no, hold on, pause, stop, Wes, stop, hold on. Are you telling me you're gay, Wes?
Wes just gives you a look like,
oh my god. That makes so much sense. It makes so much freaking sense.
It kind of does.
That's why you didn't want to tell me. Oh my god.
Wes gets kind of embarrassed. He's like, no, it was more the fact that
explains so much. There had to be a reason someone like you put up with my nonsense. Someone who put up with my attitude. Oh, Wes, that explains everything to me. Arsateris is almost at a loss for words. He of all the things he was expecting to hear, he was expecting to hear that Wes had a much worse past than this would tell you. And frankly, in this exact moment, he's not entirely dissuaded of that idea. But right now, this is so curveball out of left field, he really can't help but laugh.
Wes just kind of stares at you, deadpan stares at you. He's like, as a terrorist, I don't think that this is really a laughing matter, as
No, Wes, you don't understand. I was expecting you to tell me that you committed some heinous act. You have to understand. I was prepared to deal with the reality that you're like a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous criminal who may be a direct threat to my life. I'm not stupid. I see the things I see your profession. I'm not so tone deaf that I don't see what you're wholly capable of, despite your interior. I was expecting that to be put to the side, but no, just that you have a loved one that's missing. Like, go right ahead, dude.
Well,
You literally could have just said that, and I would have completely understood.
not necessarily missing, just I wouldn't want to run into him. And
Wait, you're avoiding your husband?
just circumstances are circumstances, and I would rather not get into it. And Julius seems to have either some correspondence with him and or information on his whereabouts, and I would like to know. And he did threaten to tell him where I was, and that scares me. And yes.
Okay, that makes sense. I just have one little logical thing that's really not making a whole lot of sense here. What happens if it turns out he didn't have correspondence and then you get caught and then the whole thing was for nothing? I'm sure you have your reasons to believe that your life is in real danger if that's true, but that's a real big gut feeling to hedge your bet on. And I know this is me saying that of all people, but you clearly must be pretty freaking confident, close to certain, that this is the case.
I'm confident that he knows who my husband is, and that is. I have come to the recent discovery that while my husband has recently risen to the kahuna of Himalao, wouldn't expect a person from Castelia City running a underground fight ring to know of the politics over there, since it is quite halfway across the region. And I do have something to suspect that he might have information on this specific matter, and perhaps to. And Wesley just kind of trails off about like,
Wait, so you're trying to avoid your husband, who's now the kahuna of Humalau? At least you seem to think he is.
oh yes, that is what Julius told me, and as I said, I would expect someone from Castelia to know about that. So I assume that he might have correspondence to Hilo either through the local alchemist guild or directly with my husband or one of his attendants.
You know what? I'm gonna completely ignore the evidence that tells me that you did something pretty fucking bad to get out of Humalau, and I'm just gonna hope you do the best there, bud.
Thank you?
But seriously, if you get caught and they get hostile, you know I'm not gonna have much of a choice. You understand that, right?
Well, it doesn't have to be now, but...
Oh, I didn't say it had to be now, but if you go looking for it, and they catch you, and they try to do something to you, they're not leaving that room in one piece.
I understand, and I hope that it won't have to come to that, and I'll be able to find what I'm looking for.
Well, here's to hoping, because you're the one rolling the dice here.
I know, and judging by recent circumstances, I do not believe I can trust my own body to work the way I want it to. And that is what I think scares me the most if I plan to do
trust your own body to work the way you want it to.
Well, you see, a basic sleep powder shouldn't have been able to put me to sleep. I've been exposed to much worse as an alchemist, and for some reason I barely resisted it and fell on my bum. And led myself to be in a position to where I got the red tops exposed, and yeah. And the position we are in now.
They're not going to ask me about the tops, are they?
They did ask if we had more, and I would I know if Julius saw through my lie? Probably not.
You know that he said, like, I don't want to accuse people of lying, and he said, if you happen to come across more, figure out how they work. But he kind of said it in a way that he assumed that you guys had more and just didn't want to tell him.
Okay. Julius does know that we have more of these red tops, and maybe giving him some will placate him until that proverbial deadline where he kicks us out and alerts my husband of my whereabouts.
That would be a problem, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, all right.
Do you want to do anything, Calypso? You've been quiet for a bit.
You've been quiet this entire time.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I mean, that just kind of seemed like a man conversation. Not gonna lie,
Oh, it was definitely a man conversation.
a manly conversation.
Suddenly, for everything, Arsateris just clicks and he goes, "So much makes sense now."
Wesley
Yeah.
gives both of you a look, and he's kind of confused, like, what do you mean? Kinda, he's like, oh. Like he just looks at you like you guys, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think Calypso really has much to add to this matter, honestly. I mean, as a girl, she's like, kind of whatever. I don't want to say like whatever, but like, she's like, I don't know. I just feel like there's not much that she would have to add onto all of this, honestly. She kind of goes with the flow more often than not.
Okay. Do you have anything else you want to do tonight, or are you just going to tuck in?
At this point, I think Wesley notices that his goggles are cracked, and he just kind of gets solemn and silent, and kind of like drops what he's been tinkering on, and just kind of like goes to bed silently and sadly.
Yeah, I don't really think there's much else to do at this point.
Okay. I think that's a good place to end the session then.